Welcome to your weekly episode, Forging the Future, with your co-founders of JemEcho, Ethan Kinsey, Julian Kernut.
Hello.
We like to keep you guys updated on what we are doing every week and the things that we are working on, and give you a behind-the-scenes look at our product and where it is, where it's going, and what issues we've hit along the way. This week, solving a big question. The initial question when you start a business is, what's my business going to be called? For a lot of people, how do I brand it? And the question that we had to solve this week was, is it time for a rebrand? How do we know when it's time for a rebrand? What do we rebrand into? And we're going to talk a little bit about that process.
It's difficult. It's tough to know when you have to make a decision like that, right? Because oftentimes you built the framework, you built the structure, you've done a lot of work, and there's a feeling of trepidation. There's a lot of fear.
Yeah.
Are we going to lose visibility? Are we going to lose users? Are we going to lose the affection that we have built up and maintained with our brand image, with our name? Tough decision, but why did we do it?
Yeah, the question is, does our branding make sense, and is it consistent now? And what do we need to do to have brand consistency?
And is it ugly?
And is it ugly? Oh, here's a very important question. Is it just me that likes this, or do people actually like it?
Our platform was called the EchoForge.
Yeah.
It was the EchoForge, right? It was a nice union of two words, powerful. It feels almost too powerful, like a video game. Like a video game. And that is what we encountered with that name, with SEO. That was a big problem with the SEO.
Yeah.
And we were discussing it with one of our mentors, and older gentleman, and he said, now when I look at the EchoForge, it's some sort of sword. I believe is exactly what he said. It's some sort of sword. I found a sword because when you went to Google and you typed that in, you got an item wiki list.
Yeah.
For a very popular video game. That is a SEO nightmare.
Yeah.
That is an SEO nightmare, man. And I don't even think we're listed on there. So you have to be realistic about not only how discoverable you are, but also what the connotation of a name is. And it's something that in retrospect, I think we did, it's like you kind of have a feeling for these things, but in retrospect, it was video gamey, juvenile, and it sounds kind of artificial in a way. It's like it's something that
sounds like something from a Marvel movie.
Flimsy, yeah.
Which
a B tier, not like Thor.
And what it does not sound like, I think, right, is a piece of reliable software for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and content creators.
Right. Yes.
You know, to us, it sounded cool when we created it. But a question we had to answer, right, is consistency. Where do people find us? Are we the same everywhere? Can they find us easily by searching our name? And when they go to look into our company and our business and what we do, are they experiencing a cohesion of branding? That is something that we knew was an issue. For us, our GemXAI LLC is our parent company. That's where we started out before we even knew we were going to create the EchoForge. Then we created the EchoForge, and that was the name of our app. And then you move forward, and EchoForge.com is taken because it is a sword in a video game that's very popular, right? And then it's like, okay, so GemEcho.com, mixing the GemXAI and the EchoForge, is our home base. That's where people actually go to log in. We cannot expect a user or someone looking for us or someone looking for a service to try and figure these things out. And we realized that it would be a mistake to not immediately tackle this. So that was one of the other questions we answered.
Yeah, getting out ahead of things. It's easy when you're in the trenches working on it every single day to forget how important something like this is, where
Yeah.
people will be, I couldn't find you guys. I didn't even, you have no distinct branding. You have no distinct name. I couldn't find you guys. I was turned off by the color, the font, the appearance. And all those things had to be addressed too with the rebrand. Like, this wasn't just a name change,
Right.
right? It's color, it's appearance, it's logo, it's comfort, its usability, its readability of text. It's all of the aesthetic, the whole aesthetic package of a brand identity that we reconfigured, and we are now JemEcho.com. JEMECHO, JemEcho.com, which I like. I think that's great because it's kind of like, I mean, I'm like, of course I'm biased, right? But it's JemEcho. People are like, JemEcho. Yeah, JemEcho with a J.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you spell it. I like that. Because you say
JemEcho.
JemEcho with a J.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's my first initial too. It's amazing.
Yeah. So here you can see our new logo and our name, which is JemEcho, and our brand identity, which is your AI small business growth partner. That was essentially, yeah, like Julian said, it was everything. It was color scheme. It was logo, more simplistic, less unrealistic and futuristic, less video gamey. Well, obviously you can tell we both thought EchoForge was cool with the hammer, and it was cool. But realistically, probably not for a piece of software that we want to instill, confidence and professionalism. So we had to make that switch. When solving the question of when should I rebrand, should I rebrand, how do I rebrand, it's critical to have extreme honesty, outside perspective from other people. And it is extremely important that if you come to the conclusion that, yes, I am totally disjointed here, I need to rebrand, I need to do this, that you cut it off right there without bias, without hesitation, and you do it. Because I know that the difficulty is we have called this EchoForge for a long time. We've put a lot of work into EchoForge. We've told umpteen amount of people about EchoForge. We were very proud of our logo and our scheme because we liked it. But the truth is that matters much less than if people in general think it makes sense and if they like it.
I think it actually is. It's like it really kind of re-enlivens the whole appearance, the whole aspect of the platform too. It makes it like, okay, cool. Well, this actually looks really cool. So if you go to our page now, you will see something looks really cool.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. It looks great, and it has light mode, dark mode, and that gets into some of the other things that we've been working on. New features this week.
Yeah,
not just rebrand.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
That was a big one. Yeah, a ton of bug fixes.
Yeah,
ton of bug fixes. Assistant's much smarter.
Yes.
Assistant is much smarter. Assistant has better tools. It can read websites much better. It's smarter with information retrieval. You can point it at your site and you can say, I need you to do research into X, Y, or Z for me. You could say, hey, I need you to check out, surrounding in my area, surrounding competition. What are other people doing? What events are coming up? What opportunities do I have in my area? And it can do a full dive, generate a big long form research for you. And not just this is another pretty huge update, not just in the chat zone on the site, but we have email integration now. Yeah. So you can email your AI assistant. You can actually chat with it via your email. So anything that can be discussed with the JemEcho AI assistant in the chat window can now be discussed in a back and forth via email contact with AI at mail.jemecho.com. Pretty cool. It's very cool because you can shoot something off and it can send you back a whole research report in your email. You can ask it questions about your analytics. You can ask it anything you want while you're on the road, as long as you have your phone. Go into email, boom, get exactly what you need. It's pretty remarkable. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And this is made possible by a lot of the technological kind of improvements that are actually with the architecture of the assistant in the background. This is how agents kind of work. It's like they fan out, and it can spin up different instances of it's a research. It can do, campaign management. It can do lead integration. Another update, and so it can do all this stuff in the background. And these improvements have made it possible to have email discussion, and they've enabled a lot more longer term kind of thinking capabilities, which is awesome.
I am a user of JemEcho, so I routinely need to use JemEcho to upload media, to make posts across 6-7 different platforms. I routinely have to talk to the AI assistant to make me campaigns when I am putting out batch content, things like that. And what I've noticed from using JemEcho, obviously I help test it and everything, but just using it to actually do for us what business owners have to do using the platform as well. So using it just like any other business owner would use it, is that when I do go into the AI assistant now, it can give me really helpful insights. It can give me reasons why, hey, you can't do this or you can do that, with really a solution. And then you can also see it switching modes when you talk to it. So if I ask it to make me a social media campaign, you can see right below that it is switching into campaign mode. So okay, it has heard and understood me. I just need to wait for a few seconds for it to kick back a response that we've created the campaign, or kick back a question or something like that. You can even amend campaigns. The look and feel of the AI assistant has drastically improved, and these mode switches are actually visible to you as the user, so that that the AI assistant has heard you and is accurately going into the right place to do the task that you've asked it to do.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Because things like it's doing something.
Yeah.
It's like it's strange to think about. It's actually executing a big old workflow. We're used to things being like pretty fast these days. So now we have these big, powerful agents, and they have to actually take some time. And but the longer it takes and smarter it is, the more tokens it uses, the more thinking it can use. And those are things that are all like one of the parts of like building agents well is making sure that they're thinking properly when they should be, and they're using tools properly when they should be, and that they're following orders properly, all that good stuff. But on the note of campaigns, the other large update with the combination of campaigns and email is email campaigns.
Yes.
Everybody loves a good email campaign.
Yes.
And we now offer the ability for our users to run fully autonomous, customized email campaigns that can be set up and can be built just by talking to the AI assistant in natural language. You say your instructions in English, what you want. I want an email campaign to go out to all of my customers every week that has an offer that if they click it has a link to a form, has a link to my site, has a link to my socials, has media that is generated, has media that is pulled from one of my folders. All of these things you can do with social campaigns, you can do with email campaigns now. And it can all be set up right there in the AI assistant so that you can have fully automated email campaigns going out to as many contacts as you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another addition is the ability to import CSV, which is very important. I think in the future we will work on integrations into different CRMs, things like that. But I do know every CRM has the ability to download CSV. So if there is somebody that's currently using a CRM, they can download that CSV file. It can go into the they can download that CSV file. It can go into JemEcho and be uploaded. And JemEcho can take action in the form of email campaigns right now, in the future, even text campaigns.
Not only that, the AI assistant has a total tool suite for dealing with contacts and leads. So you can import your own CSV, you can import your own lead list. the AI assistant is able to categorize those and sort those and update those. And one of the some of the components that have yet to get wired together but are coming up very shortly, likely within the next couple of days, I've been working on quite a bit, is the ability for the assistant to, by as it continues to, as it engages with these contacts, able to sort them into your own categories. So you can go and create categories for your contacts right now. You can have leads, you can have customers, clients, you could even have a list that's like whales, dolphin, etc., something like that. You can create your own category however you want. Give it a color tag. When you do that, the AI assistant can see that. So you can go into your AI assistant and say, I need a campaign for my weeklies. These are my weekly contacts. And it will put out an email campaign that is you set up that is going only to that category of your contacts. And you can say, all right, I want a different campaign for my monthlies. Mm-hmm. And you have your own category defined as monthlies. The AI assistant looks, it says, cool, we got a category called monthlies. Let me make the email campaign specifically for them. I have a category for, let's say, I don't know, you run a shop. I put a category out for my Euro car owners, right? You have a list, you have your own list, because the AI assistant, and getting to the wiring these things together better and better is that, in that example, for instance, the AI, by being able to communicate with your contacts, would say, wait, this person owns BMW. This belongs in Eurocard. You don't even have to do that. The AI assistant is able to take notes, put them in for each contact. It's able to establish communication patterns, put those in for each contact. Say, this leads from Facebook. All right. So there's some other things in the pipe that are going to make this really, really cool too, right? Because it's like, okay, where was contact established? What were the details of that contact? What can I understand from that contact? What do I know? What notes do I have about this contact that is going to influence how I talk to them in the future? Is this a warm lead that needs to be pipelined into a customer or into a user, into a client? Is this somebody that needs a follow-up, where now they're in a follow-up category that I'm checking? Okay, 2 weeks is my follow-up time. AI assistant knows that, automatically follows up 2 weeks. So all that's in the works, but the fundamentals are there with the contact management, the AI assistant's awareness, its expansion of tools, the technological upgrade, the implementation of email capabilities that are going to define like all communications, of which email is only one facet, right? Because that gets into DMs, it gets into text, it gets into some other things in the future that we've been discussing a lot that we want to bring to the table. And at a reasonable price, like we're getting to the point, not to brag, right? We're getting to the point where it's a pretty incredible piece of tech. It's incredible tech, dude. It's incredible. And we've come very far. Yeah. With and like that's, back to the beginning of the conversation with the rebrand, is that like it's like a metamorphosis. Yep. Like what do they call it when a chrysalis emerges, right? It crystallizes, it
comes out of the cocoon. Yeah. We're going from a video game style caterpillar to a reliable cutting edge software style butterfly with purple wings, because that is the color.
Such a good color, dude.
Once again,
it's such a good color.
Yeah. So, and I believe that a lot of these technologies, right, what our goal is, and what I think that we will be very realistically able to accomplish, is that there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there that may just be getting started. We want to target the micro and small space, as well as the content creators that are taking content creation seriously and want to establish a relationship with the people that consume their content, which is very smart for brand deals, anything that you want to do. We are developing something that will allow people to get the best parts of CRM functionality without the absolute headache that the majority of CRMs out there are to deal with, and more, right? They have a partner, an AI assistant that is not only able to execute these reactive requests, but is able to proactively suggest, that is able to not only proactively suggest, but when given approval, take action. That is insane. And especially establishing it in a way that is easy to understand, that is easy to use for people that do not have a ton of technical capability, right? Or the bandwidth to have to learn something new. The idea is to make basically the first, I don't want to say the first, they always say that, we're not completely unique, but the most user-friendly and cost-effective true business partner out there for small business growth that has everything. And as you can hear, like the progress that we've made in the last week, we are getting there.
Oh, yes.
We are getting there. We will get there. We will be there soon.
Yes.
And then we'll just continue to evolve as new technologies come out. We stay on top of that for people. They don't have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bring the most cutting edge developments right into your hand, at your fingertips, and building for you.
Yeah.
So.
And we will see you next week.